Hi there, I'm Weicheng. This is the presentation regarding the 289 Flinders Street project. The presenters we have today are Xin, Ruoyan, Qixiao, Yansong, and me. So our presentation today will consist of these parts: project overview, market analysis, initial cost plan, recommendations, other requirements proposed by the client, building code issue, clash detection, and risk analysis. So the first section would be the project overview. The location of this project is 289 Flinders Street, Adelaide CBD. The purpose of this project is to exploring whether the 2.5 million budget can be fully utilized and whether the budget can meet the needs of adding sustainable attributes to the building. The duration of this project would be 21 months. The demolition and site clearance works are out of the project scope because they have been already done by other parties. In order to make this project become a success, there are some critical success factors that need to be noticed, which are professional and experienced project management team, communication mechanism, risk management, time management, cost management, quality control, market analysis, professionals with specific skills and innovative approach. And the constraints of this project would be an initial budget of 2.5 million for this project set by the client. Sustainable attributes must be added to the building. Prefab integrated HVAC system must be utilized in this building. Up-to-date as-built information must be provided to the client. And based on our experience, there are certain key points that we want our client to know. The initial cost plan is not detailed. Regulate conducting market analysis is vital. Clash detection and inspection of building code issue is important. Identifying the risks and response strategies is important. Consideration should be given to applying as many sustainable attributes as possible to the project.
Market analysis. Market analysis is divided into 5 parts. The first part is market trends. Due to the epidemic, people have left the office for a long time, which leads to the increase of vacancy rates in Australian office buildings. Because Australia has performed well in controlling the epidemic and launched the COVID-19 vaccination program in 2021, people will gradually return to the office, and what will the demand for office building increase? Meanwhile, in the future for a long time, many improvement measures are needed to deal with the epidemic situation of the buildings. The old office building need to be renovated at a great cost, so the new office buildings are more competitive in the market. The second part is customer description. According to the information provided by property data, the number of office buildings is housed in legal departments, while the government departments demand the head office area. Through analyzing the description of customers, we can better determine the rental direction of office building in the future. The third part is market projection. Combined with customer description and market trends analysis, the office building cannot be replaced. It can be concluded that although telecommuting can provide flexibility for employees, physical office work is a critical element of enterprise growth control, employee development, and risk management. Therefore, the office building will still have high potential in the future. The first part is the competitive analysis. Through analysis of the rental area, advantages and disadvantages of 6 commercial buildings near number 289. The most competitive competitors has 180 square meters with a reception area, offices, and kitchenette and storage room. This building is planning to renovation. The Accord Group's building is under construction, but other building can be written out quickly. Therefore, in the efficiency of rating, the competitiveness of the accord group's building is not as high as others. The fifth part is learning advance. The biggest advantages of accord group's building is geographical location. To the north is Adelaide's largest commercial street, which includes restaurant and cafe, which is convenient for other activities. To the south is park, which is convenient to relax after work. In terms of transportation, the Accord Group's building is surrounded by a 24-hour parking lot to meet the daily parking needs, and is less than 1 kilometer away from the nearest train port. Secondly, for the building itself, there is a library held on the first floor, which is very suitable for business, negotiation, and nearby students' study.
So the next section would be the initial cost plan summary. The initial cost plan was made with Rawlinson's Construction Cost Guide 2021 as a reference, and the total project cost didn't exceed 2.3 million. It needs to be stated that the initial cost plan is only used as a reference for initial feasibility study in the initial design stage of the project. As the project advanced gradually, the initial cost plan needs to be updated, adjusted, and refined. It should be mentioned that the initial cost plan does not include the price of sustainable attributes that may be applied to the project. The final decision on which sustainable attributes need to be adopted is up to our client. The next section would be the recommendation section. And the first part of our recommendation section would be the feasibility of this project with the estimated budget. The feasibility of this project with the estimated budget could be discussed in terms of cost and benefit. As I just mentioned, the estimated total project cost does not even exceed $2.3 million, which means the 2.5 million budget set by our client is reasonable. In order to further determine the feasibility, our client should consider how to use this project to make benefit. There are two ways that our client can make profit through this project. That is, leasing the office building to a small or medium-sized enterprise to get a stable income by collecting the rent on a monthly basis or on an annually basis, or setting the office building as a co-working space to get an income which might be not stable. In addition, we reckon that our client really needs to think about getting the long-term benefit, that is, spend some money to add the sustainable attributes. Although the development of sustainable attributes will increase the total project cost and even make the total project cost more than $2.5 million, the sustainable attributes will make the building more energy efficient, thereby reducing the building's operation costs and increasing the net profits in the long term.
Some recommendations in regard to sustainable attributes for this office building project are provided according to the request by Accord Group, covering design phase, construction phase, and service phase. Passive design will be adopted in the design phase, which takes advantage of the climate to maintain a comfortable temperature range inside of the building, and reduces or eliminates the need for auxiliary heating or cooling. Passive design consists of three major aspects, including thermal resistant walls, window selection, and roof strategy. Each aspect will have recommendation measures provided. Use of green building material will be emphasized in the construction phase. Two types of green building material, as example, are provided in this report, including bamboo and hempcrete. Both of them have a negative carbon footprint, thus can reduce greenhouse gas emissions effectively. Moreover, they have good performance as building components as well. Here are photos of them. Considering the use phase accounts for 60 to 90% of energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions, introduction of green techniques will bring environmental benefits significantly. Two types of green techniques are proposed, including photovoltaics and wind turbines. Although installation of photovoltaics and wind turbines will incur some extra cost, they will generate considerable power during the use period of the building and reduce the energy expense in the long run. Here are photos of photovoltaics on the top of building attached to a building and the wind turbines on Eiffel Tower.
First of all, the most suitable delivery method will be the design and build full-stage lump sum contract. The reasons are as follows. First, among the 5 main delivery methods, design and build is the most suitable because the project only has initial design. Design build only construction is excluded first. The management fee contract will include design consultants, which may reduce costs due to the good design for complex projects, but can only increase design costs in this project which isn't complex. The remanagement contract is suitable for the project which is difficult to accurately calculate the scope, and the cost plus contract is suitable for the emergency projects, which tend to increase costs, so neither of these two will be applied. Therefore, the design and build where the contractor is responsible for detailed design and construction is most suitable. In addition, there are 3 subtypes in design and build. The difference is that full-stage design and build will directly carry out detailed design and construction after providing principal project requirements. The weighted design and build will hire designers for preliminary design, and two-stage design and build will be carried out the preliminary design in first stage by contractor. This project will only need detailed design. Therefore, the design and build full-stage lump sum contract are most suitable.
Development issues mainly include the laws and regulations that need to pay attention to in the development of buildings. According to the Government of South Australia 2020 Adelaide City Development Plan, it is divided into 2 parts, design and construction. The design mainly includes the quantity need to be met in the construction of parking lots, and some issues in the construction should be paid attention.
Now let's move on to the special requirement. This part combined with 2 parts, utilization of prefabrication for the building system and up-to-date as-built asset information. This introduces the basic information, challenges, and advantages of the prefab HVAC system. There are 3 factors that need to be considered when utilize the prefab HVAC system: the prefabrication construction method, the scope triangle, and the communicating factor. The first factor is to choose the prefabrication construction method. There are 2 main methods, panel and modular. This picture shows the principal plan design of modular housing aging. Various mechanical machines are joined into one component of the final installation. Compared with the traditional HVAC system, this equipment is not installed separately in different technical rooms. The second factor is the scope triangle. The aim of using the prefab HVAC system is to achieve the maximum of the client's requirement by using the minimum time and within the budget. Although it will accelerate the construction process and reduce the construction costs, the transportation cost for prefab HVAC system may increase, which is depend on the size of the product and the location of the factory. The third factor is communicating factor. There is a limit about the flexible and ethical design. The prefab HVAC system has very little fault tolerance in the design. This means the designers should join the design team at the early stage. Now let's move on to the second part. This slide shows the definition of BIM and the prefabrication housing product. The usefulness of the BIM PHP framework are introduced in this slide. In the design stage, BIM will reduce design errors and develop 3-dimensional modelers for information storage. In the transportation stage, BIM will use smart work packages to ensure the approach time of the prefab HVAC system and tracking the delivered items. In the construction stage, BIM will provide a guarantee for the success of the site construction. During the maintenance stage, BIM will track and monitor the location and the status of the HVAC system and upload this information to the platform and used for early warning. The last stage is the refurbishment stage. BIM will provide accurate and reliable three-dimensional visual information about the project, enabling contractors to better understand the existing conditions of the building, improving the constructability of renovation costs, and reducing the complexity of building refurbishment.
We have identified 10 different building code issues in total. Here are 4 typical building code issues as examples. The first one is the building doesn't provide artificial lighting in passageways. It may cause unexpected damage for the occupants, such as tripping and falling. According to NCC 2019-101 Part F4 Light and Ventilation, as solution, the artificial lighting need to be provided. Second one is there is no protective device was found on the curtain wall. When a fire occurred, the unprotected curtain wall might shatter. According to NCC 2019-101 Section C, Fire Resistance, we suggest to make a curtain wall fully protected by automatic external wall wetting sprinklers. The third one is no firefighting equipment was found in this building. When fire breaks out, lack of firefighting equipment may increase the difficulty of escaping and firefighting. According to NCC 2019-101, Section E, Service and Equipment, we suggest to add personal or automatic firefighting equipment. The last one is the staircase in the building lacks of non-slip service. The installation will take extra time and money, but lack of the slip-resistant surface will lead to dangers such as falling. According to NCC 2019-101 Section D, Access and Egress, we suggest to install the slip-resistant surface on the stairs.
Let's introduce the clash detection. Clash detection via building information modeling helps in speeding up projects by identifying clashes between several models during the design stage itself, helping architects and contractors eliminate chances of multi-level design changes, which can result into budget overshot and delay in project completion time. There are 2 types of the clash detection, critical issues and non-critical issues. We found 8 critical issues. For example, the component ceiling clashes with the basic wall, and ground floor clashes with the door. We also find 2 non-critical issues. Floor clashes with the curtain wall mullions, and curtain wall mullion clashes with the railing.
Risk management is a process of determining the risks within a project and evaluating the procedures to minimize their impact. Performance of construction activities will have a number of different categories of risk involved. Risk register for this project has 17 risks identified, with 3 of them being introduced in detail in this report. Each risk will have scores of their impact and probability as well as mitigation or response strategies provided. That's all of the basic information of our project. Thanks for listening.